Eric, do you know what I was just sitting here thinking about?
What was that?
That we're at episode 135 of the Drag Drive Repeat show presented by Summit Racing. You know that,
135.
dude, that's like 3 years of doing this.
Yeah. Do you still remember the first one? Well, the
Oh
first one you
man.
did by yourself. The second one is when I came on.
Yeah, I mean, I needed a co-host. Let's be honest. We know that. We know that. Well, guys, welcome to episode 135. 3 years in the making here, probably more, really, to be honest. A lot of time off there for, when I'm at events, you're at events, all that kind of stuff. Presented by Summit Racing. We appreciate you guys being here. We got a big show tonight. We have Jason Moulton of Mickey Thompson Tire on. We have Bill Bader Jr. from Summit Motorsports Park. I'm really excited to talk to these two guys. One, because they're hosting a drag and drive together, which is kind of cool. That's powered by Sick the Magazine. So it's going to be like Mickey Thompson Turn and Burn. We're going to talk about that. But also, like, we've got them on after that conversation to kind of pick their brain a little bit. So I'm excited to see what people have with questions for like Jason at Mickey Thompson or Bill at Summit Motorsports Park. I mean, dude, it's one of the premier racetracks in the world. I think this guy's a wealth of knowledge. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, talk to the committee of people this last like 4 days of Drag and Drive World Champion points rules updates. So I have all of that. And finally, sweet baby Jesus. I have the entire list of people, of racers up on the website. So we're going to talk about that with their point standings and all that kind of stuff for 2025. So if you'll hit the intro, we'll get started with that.
All right, let's do it.
Man, it's great to be here. I'm telling you, it's kind of crazy when you think about how long we've been doing this. And man, just I appreciate you, appreciate everybody out here, appreciate all the folks that come here every week. They're already over there making comments over on the side. So, guys, if you don't know, if this is your first time here, my name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of this show and the news that happens on Saturday mornings. And my right hand man, sorry, you're on the other side here of me, Mr. Eric White. What you got going on, dude?
Man, I am Eric White, the co-host of both the show and the news. Everything drag, drive, repeat related, artwork, photos, you name it. It's kind of my jam. Man, we were just kind of talking before the show, and it's taken me a little bit to get rolling. After the new year, after PRI, it's been kind of wild, but man, looking forward to being caught up on photos and to start the year fresh and just kind of man see where the year goes. It's going to be such a crazy year. We've had some amazing guests already on the show, and we've done a great job of kind of booking out, which has been really exciting. So just, man, really looking forward to what this year is going to bring us.
Yeah, I feel like we are much more proactive this year, which is going to be great as we lead into a ton of stuff and already setting stuff up for February. I mean, we're way early than we normally are. So we've got Sick Week in a couple weeks, and then after that, dude, we're going to have a great set of guests on in February. I can't wait. So, the one thing that we have to do all of that is our race car friends. So just want
Oh
to say
yeah.
thanks everybody for being here tonight. We appreciate it. Again, it's going to be a great show. And then thank you for everything that you guys do all the time. Our race car friends really kind of make this world go round. I'll tell you that much. And our sponsors, man, without these folks, we couldn't do this. I mean, Eric and I are sitting here talking like 15 events we're going to be attending this year. That stuff doesn't come inexpensively. And, equipment that we're purchasing, hiring Brian to do editing, Joe to help us keep posts going and all that kind of stuff. All that, is because of these guys. So if you're shopping, we would appreciate if you drop over and see some of these folks here. Summit Racing, of course, title sponsor here of the show and news. Works, the official fuel delivery of Drag Drive Repeat. So if you're looking for fuel stuff, they're your guys. Mark Campbell, certified badass 850 racer, coming to give Brian Acton a run for his money at the Circuit 2026. Molly Motorsports, best pistons in the game. Obviously, those guys are not just piston providers and super knowledgeable guys. They are also drag and drive racers, driven racing oil, pistons and oil, that all kind of goes together. DDR10 discount code on driven racing oil. And they have a like 4 new lines of oil that have come out in the last few days. So they're one of our guests in February as well to talk through some of the changes that they've got. Howard's Cam's back on board for 2026. Our boy Luke B, all kind of valve train stuff going on over there. J Wire Solutions, talked to Jay last night, got him out of doing some dishes. So you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. And sorry, I apologize about that. AFCO Racing Products back here for 2026. Shocks, radiators, all that kind of cool stuff. Performer built transmissions on last week. Yeah. Wow. It feels like so long ago. Last week with Ryan Snyder on here talking about all the cool stuff's going on in transmission technology. Car Change 3D. I know you guys are building stuff. You need these dashes that Corey puts out. And of course, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Again, just do some shopping over there. See those guys. Say hi to them. Say thank you for their support of not just Drag Driver P, but of the Drag and Drive community. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began way back. Dude, we're almost to 60 years for them. One-man startup and is now the world's speed shop. 4 facilities, 200-plus catalog editions. They fuel your passion, save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Download the Summit Racing mobile app or use our link, the affiliate link that you can find down in our Facebook page. It's the top pinned post there. And then everywhere you see Summit Racing on dragdriverepeat.com takes you right to there using the affiliate link. So you can also find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and on the On All Cylinders podcast for more automotive discussions like what you're watching here, from humble origins to the social media lane.
Uh-oh. Did you freeze up? All right. Well, I believe you are frozen, sir. I believe you were going to say from humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Again, find everything on summitracing.com. So for our Summit conversation here, we got an email about these stuff. This is their Summit new product release. This is really cool. They have a new line of camshafts for the LT engines from GM. My favorite one here is the Summit Racing Pro LT Torquenator cam. Like Torquenator, that's pretty sweet. And there goes our notes. Give me 1 second and get those slides back up here. So obviously, when Mike freezes up, our slides are on his screen there, so I got to reopen those up. But Summit does have those new lines of cams, and again, like I said, the Torquenator one is my favorite one on that list, just because they've got a pretty sweet name there. I don't know who came up with the Torquenator truck cam, but I dig it.
Yeah. Do you want to add those slides in there, because now I'm super scared?
I'm working on it. I was already working on it. So
yeah, we haven't had that happen at all in months.
No, it hasn't. They also have the Pro LT Street Strip cams. Those are stages 1 through 4. The Torquenator truck cam, stage 1 through 4, and the Pro LT Turbo cam is the other one. So again, new lineup of cams from the Summit Racing Pro line, I guess is what you would call it.
Dude, crazy. I don't know what's happening, man. I didn't get a warning or anything. It was just I was talking and I could hear you until you basically pulled me from the screen, I guess. And
I didn't touch it. You just disappeared.
Hey, that's all right. That's the way it goes sometimes. Hang tight, guys. Eric has great internet.
Here we go again. It's going to be a long night tonight. I can tell you that already. So we'll keep on rolling. Again, while you're on Summit Racing, checking out those new Pro LT cams, be sure to check out all the DDR merch that Summit carries. Again, the Summit branded shirts, hoodies, big brim hats, All that stuff is on the website. So if you're getting a cam or anything else on there, throw one of these in your cart as well. For some drag drive repeat updates, I wish Mike was here to talk a little bit about this since he's been working on quite a bit of it, but he had mentioned world champion rules are updated for 2026 with the changes. So going to kind of run through these here. Minimum of 125 racers on day one or 200 pre-registered racers. So that's to make the event part of the World Championship points. That is going to be the same as it was before. Street Weekend UK is now eligible since they have grown to 4 days of racing. So again, they were 3 days of racing prior. Now they are at 4 days, which then allows them to be part of the World Championship points. One updated rule here is one that's been talked about quite a bit before. We allowed 1 8th mile event this year, and going forward, we're going to allow 2 8th mile events. So when you look at the numbers of 8th mile events versus quarter mile events, obviously there's quite a bit of movement towards the 8th mile. Obviously, we've had tons of conversation about 8th mile versus quarter mile. So one of the big changes is we are going to allow 2 8th mile events instead of just the one for the World Championship points. Some other updates here for points. 6 second quarter mile average gets the 4 bonus points, but the difference here is on the 8th mile, the conversion for 6 seconds is going to be 4.1 to 4.49 second for 8th mile. Hey, welcome back.
Hey, buddy. Sorry about that. I have no idea. This is so weird. All right. Yeah. So you're talking about 2 8th mile events. That's a big deal for this year.
Yep. Yes.
That came at the request of a lot of people. Several folks mentioned that. And then, yeah, lead on, man. Lead on. I'll be here to back.
Just talking about the changes in what the times are for the 6 second quarter mile to the 8th mile there. It's going to be, like I said, 4.1 to 4.49. That's going to be your 4 points. So previously that was 4.1 to 4.99.
Yeah. And then 7 second quarter mile stuff relates to 4.5 to 5.249 for 8th mile times. This is going to really increase my workload, but I think it's worth it, to be honest with you. That used to be 5.0 to 5.49. So this is a much quicker gap, but 5.249 equates to about a 7.98 or 7.99 quarter mile ET.
Tom here saying, I know it's snowing here in Ohio, but looks like Michael is the one freezing.
Dude, well played. That's a good one. That's a good joke. Yeah. 8 seconds moves to 5.25 all the way. I kept 5.99 on that one for easy math. And then the 9 second ET stuff will go for quarter mile. Will actually go, that's 9.0 to 9.99. This will be 6.0 to 6.36, which is what 10.0 kind of relates to within the NHRA books and things like that. So that was previously 650 on that one. So for a lot of the racers that ended up at events, they had like a 650 index, or they would have a 640, which really kind of hurt them a lot of the way. So 636 will keep all of that out of the way.
Nice. And couple other updates here. So official event route covering more than 900 miles is going to be 1 additional point. Mm-hmm. And more than 1,150 miles is going to be 2 additional points.
Yeah, those are big jumps there. We've never done mileage bonuses, but again, another thing that people have asked for really every year, they've asked for that. But we never wanted to push people towards a certain event because of additional points. But with 11 events qualifying or 12 events qualifying, hey, get in where you fit in. That's the way it's going to work for this. And then 10.0 points champion now has a minimum 8th mile ET average of 636. Before that, it was 650, kind of following along with that 9 second bonus point. So essentially, if you run 10.0 and slower, to win that 10-0 championship, you need to win classes. You need to podium, you need to place, you need to do events, all that kind of stuff. So the 636 again will open up that opportunity for a little more speed, a little more because some folks run right up to that 10-0 number. And if that's in an 8th mile deal, we don't want them to be hurting as well and not have the chance to win the class simply because we put a 650 cap on it. So yeah. Anyways, take all of that. This is all on the website too, drag and drive or dragdriverpete.com / world champion. You can find all of that on the site. It goes into great detail. And I didn't put it in the notes, but dude, show the photo, man. I'm so excited about this. Y'all don't even understand. So there's your top 3, of course. This took way longer than it should have. I literally worked on this for like 5 hours trying to get it onto the website. I have no idea why it took so long, but Squarespace fights us. That's who does our website hosting, and finally got the sizing right. You can literally go through. There are 2,800, almost 2,800 names on here. I put in your total event attendance there in the first column, eligible event attendance next, and then your eligible points from there for your Drag and Drive World Champion stuff. So if you have any sponsors that are wanting to see that stuff, you can show them that. But then also you can run through there and see, where you stood. Where did you place? I mean, there's basically to the top 100. Those are in order. If there were ties in points, I sorted those by ET averages, basically across the 2 or 1 or 3 events, whatever you have. So it'll be based on whoever was the quickest of those tied points numbers. But after 100, hey, be glad you're on the list because that is a ton of work, dude. Ton of work. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that obviously like 26 points is what you get just for finishing an event. I think there's like 1,000 of those of 26 points where they just finished. But what's really fun is like way down at the bottom when there's anything less than 26 points and 1 event. Those folks didn't make it more than 3 days at a Drag and Drive event. So it's pretty crazy when you start looking down through there and seeing all those. So anyways, I don't know why that took so long to do, but it did. And it was frustrating as heck.
I can imagine.
Yeah. The Eric White should be on top of that list. Yes. Maybe one day when he's racing a fast car. Race Car Friends members, tomorrow is the day we're doing a private live stream tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain for a Rocky Mountain Race Week entry and a circuit entry. So listen, I sent out an email just before this live stream started that asks you please fill out the form that I sent out before. This is for people that are interested in events. We have, roughly 72 people now, I think, on the Race Car Friends member list. I don't want to miss anyone because they missed an email. So I want to draw for as many events as we can. We have like 11 events that have given us free entry. I don't want to miss somebody just because they missed a form. So definitely get in there. And then up next is Big Sky Race Week. We'll be drawing on it on January 27th, live with Austin. That's a Tuesday night. So again, another private live stream that will then go live a couple days later.
Pretty awesome. Pretty good deals there for the Race Car Friends membership group.
Yeah. $10 a month and get a chance to win a $600 entry for free. Come on.
Yeah.
Just real quick, Dustin Carlington here saying 376 is equivalent to a 980 with standard correction factor. Yes, that may be true, but we use 1.545 simply because a 153 is really like turbo, more pull backside, and then like a 156 is more NA stuff. So we use 1.545. That's all put down in the thing as well. Sorry.
Yeah, and then Buckeye Skip saying we use 630 for 990.
Yep, pretty close. Circuit updates, registration, dude, Friday morning.
Yeah, you nervous?
Oh my gosh, so anxious. We have a new system we're using this year, so I've been through that like 12 times. Just trying to make sure all the times for these things to start are correct. So I've been slowly emailing some of the people that get free entry, like the class winners from the short circuit, or like Nick Schaff when he won one of the entries the other day from from Molly. I've been kind of messaging those guys to make sure that system works and there's no struggles. But yeah, we go live Friday morning and expect 200 plus people to sign up by Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready. And then Summit Racing, big shout out to the guys over there. They are providing a $250 gift card for us to give away, which is perfect timing for that because these people last minute, you're buying stuff for your car to go to the circuit. So we are offering a $5 decal. Every purchase of the decal offers you an opportunity into for a chance to win this $250 gift card. That is only available to people that end up with a racer ticket from the circuit. So only racers. So this should end up this $250 from gift card should end up helping a racer that's coming to the circuit, hopefully. Anyways, and then we'll draw for that winner next week, episode 136, right here on the Drag Driver Pete Show.
That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I'm excited. So, and then I can't believe we're right here against it.
We are. It's coming.
Yeah, right. Red Hat Scotty talking about Doo-Doo Brown coming for that $3,000 budget class. A cheap car challenge is going to be nuts. All right, man. Lead us in. Tell us about driven racing event stuff.
All right.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
Oh, yeah, and you guys know the deal on that. DDR10 is the code to get a 10% discount on drivenracingoil.com. So make sure you're using that discount code if you're picking up anything over there on Driven Racing Oil.
Mm-hmm. That is for sure. Jared Bonnet in here saying good evening, friends. And then Robert Voss said he's going to be willing the Crapri, so he's coming for that budget class as well.
There you go. So event updates. Adam Dory with the That's Cool Drink podcast has Tom Bagley coming on January 28th. That's going to be an awesome episode there. So make sure you guys got that on your schedule. Again, Adam Dory's That's Cool Drink podcast, January 28th with the one and only Tom Bagley.
That'll be fun. That's like Tom will be in the States. So it'll be like days before sick week and him taking the car out. And then Friday morning, as well as the circuit, you have Rocky Mountain Race Week registration for 1.0 for veteran, which is their returning racer, and then public registration January 17th, that Saturday morning as well. Starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, and 9 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Pacific. For all you guys that are trying to do the math on that. And then, of course, we're doing a giveaway tomorrow with Matt right here, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, live with our race car friends.
Awesome. Next week on the show, we've got Thomas West on as our guest, and this one's going to be a ton of fun. This guy, like you have here, says doer of cool stuff. He sure does a bunch of cool stuff. Did his first drag and drive, has a bunch of really fast stick shift cars. So going to be fun to talk to him next week about all that cool stuff.
Yeah, bring it on. And then they released 666 tracks and dates. And I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but this actually cements it. Saturday, September 26th, going to be at Mocan Dragway for day 0. The 27th, back Mocan for day 1 of racing. And then it's Bonne Terre, Mid-State Dragway in Illinois. Then they're doing a drive day, which is kind of cool. I think somebody has said, or maybe I've speculated, that they're going to the start of Route 66, and then they're back, same 3 tracks, the other direction, which is kind of cool in my opinion. So I'll definitely be up for Mocan on Saturday, October 3rd. And then from there, I'm going to try and drive to Great Bend, Kansas to do day 1 of 2.0.
Nice. My plan is to catch day 3 at Mid-State, since that's not too far from me. Probably follow them on the drive day and possibly hit the day 4 back at Mid-State again. So that's kind of my plan for this one.
That's awesome, man. Bring it on. It's going to be cool. And then Speed Fest, they are doing a 750 and an 850 index class shootouts. This is going to be really cool. So it says both classes are invite only. Thought that was pretty interesting. They said they'll be competing for orange helmets, the first time that they've done that outside of a SICK event, which is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the top 10 in each class will also receive SICK Week wild cards for 2027. We know how hard it is to get into SICK Week, and these wild cards, man, that makes it all worth it.
Yeah, for sure. All Stars Drag and Drive has opened up their registration for all of the Australian Drag and Drive racers. Probably none that are watching the show live because of the time difference, but anybody that may be watching this later, that registration is open. So again, all the Australian Drag and Drive racers, All Stars Drag and Drive, July 9th through 12th, that registration is open now. So that puts us up to 43 events for the year on the calendar right now. So if you want to check those out, you can find all of them at dragdriverepeat.com/event list-2026. And that link is in the chat now. So go check that out. Again, 43 for the year right now.
Yeah, that's pretty intense, man. I'll tell you, that's a lot already. You know, we ended up with 53 with 5 canceled or postponed last year. So 48 events by the end of the year. I think we're probably going to end up somewhere in that same ballpark again this year. So, or more. I mean, dude, we're 5 short of what we hosted last year, and we're 14 days into the year.
Yeah.
Well, one of those events that we're talking about tonight is actually with our boys that'll be on here in just a minute. We're going to bring on Jason and Bill here momentarily. But again, thank you so much to Driven Racing Oil for all the support they give to all of the Drag and Drive community. DDR10 discount code over there for whenever you're shopping on drivenracingoil.com. We're going to jump ahead real quick. I want to go ahead and get these guys in because I kind of want to talk about this event. And then also, like I said in the intro before I was rudely interrupted by the lack of internet, all the fun stuff that these guys get into, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, let's jump into it. Attention, racers and high-performance enthusiasts. Are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there is no better time than right now to check out Moulton Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips, all designed to work together. Visit MoultonMotorsports.com for more details. And for our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled M-A-H-L-E.
For sure. All right. Well, let's pull these down. Let's bring in, first up, a guy that's been on here before. But, dude, it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute since we've had Mr. Jason Moulton on here from Mickey Thompson Tire. Sir, how are you this evening? Man, what do you got going on in your life?
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm just excited to be here. So sitting out in the shop in Northeast Ohio, snow's coming in. So
hopefully it's warm in there.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
But no, I mean, I'll tell you what, we're just a few weeks away from kicking the Drag and Drive season off. It probably already is unofficially started just because people are already testing, but no, I mean, can't wait to get down south and get on the track. So we've got some exciting things coming up this year, and I'm really pumped for it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to get down there. Yeah. So there's a lot of people testing at Bradenton and Gainesville and all those places. Yeah. I'm wishing I lived in Florida right now. That would be warmer, but not nearly as cold as you are. And a guy that's not far from you, and the first time that this gentleman's been on, Mr. Bill Bader Jr., man, I want to say thank you right off the gate. Thank you for taking the time tonight to do this. I know you guys are both really busy, and we do this show live, which is fun because it lends to some comments, but we appreciate you guys taking the time. So, Mr. Bill, will you introduce yourself to everybody, what you do and all the fun stuff that you get to?
Sure. My name is Bill Bader. I'm the owner of Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio, and I am entering season number 49. I started working with my dad when I was 10 years old. So I have been in this business a minute, And we are a family-owned and operated facility, very passionate about the sport, about the hobby, about car culture in general, and appreciate you having Jason and I on. Obviously, I'm a rookie at this. Jason has product placement with the Mickey logo over his left shoulder. I'm sitting in my home office, proudly displaying a Cowpens American flag. So shame on me. I will be better next time.
Eric, you heard it here first. He's coming back.
There you go, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this will be fun. Tommy Dupree of Summit in here saying two of the best guys in our industry right there. And that's what I'm excited about. You guys bring a whole different level of stuff than guests that we typically talk to. We have a lot of racers on this podcast here, a lot of conversations within the drag and drive community, and that's what we're talking about first. But then, after that, we're going to talk about some of the. I sent you guys a message at State of the Union of drag racing, but we'll see where that leads us into some fun stories and things that you guys have done and all of that stuff. So let's start with that first. Let's start with what is coming up. You made this announcement at PRI. This is one of my. I'm excited about this event. So tell us what's going on, Jason.
So really, I don't even know where to start, but I guess I'll start probably at the beginning. That's usually a good spot. Last year, we were testing at Summit Motorsports Park, and we were there with Alex Taylor, and there was some downtime. So we were just kind of kicking around the idea of, boy, it would be really cool just to maybe race at one track, this track, for a drag and drive event, but then go and see different things because while the Taylors were in town, they were like, well, can we go here? Can we do this? And, Ohio does offer during the summertime a lot of different attractions. And, one of the things that they brought up was, and we had earlier in the week had participated in some soapbox derby challenges, let's say, where they have adult sized cars. And believe it or not, I actually fit in one. And we were able to go down the hill at the Akron Derby Downs, which is, it's got its own right of legacy to it. So we just started kicking around an idea, said, and we didn't know that this had already been done, but what about a drag and drive that was here at Summit Motorsports Park? Because the facility is incredible. We were testing, and sometimes you go to places and you're testing and the track's good. It's pretty good, and it allows us to test tires. But when we were there, this track was the same as it would have been for a division race, a national event, or any other event. It was really spot on. Whether you had a slick tire car or a radial car, this track was ready to go. And I thought, man, what a cool idea if we could ever pull that off. And, of course, there's ice cream. So, you got to throw that in there. And after a while, it just kind of started festering in my brain. And I talked to Bill about it. I said, what about this idea? Could we do something? And Mickey Thompson's reason for this is, yeah, we like being at the track. Who doesn't, right? But one of the things that we look at is how do we grow the motorsport? How do we show the fun side of drag racing? How do we get the 15-year-old kid sitting on the couch going, hey, that's something I want to go do? Mm-hmm. And the great thing about drag and drive is you're competing mostly against yourself. You're out there and you're doing it with that same passion and enthusiasm of, I want to get in my car and see how fast I can make it go. It's not like, oh, I got to make sure I cut a 002 light or else this guy's package is going to be better than I'm going to get in my car and see how fast I can get it to go. And then I'm going to go cruise it on the street. So there's a lot of excitement. It's that original passion that what drew me into drag racing. I didn't have a drag car. My dad wasn't in the racing at all. But I wanted to take a car and build it and go to the track and see how fast I could get it to go. And then the next week, see if I could beat that. Mm-hmm. And that was the rush for me, getting in the car, letting the clutch out and seeing how fast it could go. So in order to try to grow the motorsport and show that excitement, get that kid to come out and see it, Mickey Thompson's interest in this is really to grow the motorsport, expand the motorsport, and the drag and drive events are a great way to do that. I personally believe that. And what a better place to do it than Summit Motorsports Park. Obviously, Bill's got a lot of passion for the sport. I may or may not have I got a lot of passion for the sport. But,
a lot.
And as I get older, I'm getting to be a man of a certain age. I want to see that next generation or the next two generations come up and start engaging in this. And I want to be there to help mentor them as much as I can. I don't know if everyone wants to hear what I have to say, but help bring them along. But hey, let's have a fun event. Let's have a fun event. Let's put some drag racing in it. Let's put some great people in it. And I think we pulled together a great team. I mean, when you look at the people involved in this, you got Mickey Thompson. And when I pitched this to my boss, thank goodness the folks at Mickey Thompson that are above me can jump in on some of these crazy ideas that I have. I mean, it's if you take this to what's the business case, what's this and that, and I'm like, no, it's going to be cool. Don't worry about it. And then you've got Bill and his family at Summit Motorsports Park. I mean, you just can't beat the facility. You can't beat the people. You can't beat the hospitality. Great place to go and race. And then now, and I know he's not on here tonight, you've got Sick the Mag coming in and supporting the event. So it's going to be powered by Sick the Mag. And what that means is they're coming in and bringing their expertise from the drag and drive side to help make this event a success. So you've got, and there's going to be more, I promise you. There's going to be more, so I'm really excited about it. That's kind of a backstory of how it got started. Was some soapbox racing and some testing at a great facility.
And some what do you call it? Peer pressure from Alex Taylor. That's always a good one.
Alex has the uncanny ability to get people to do things that they probably shouldn't be doing. And we won't go back to any videos of me foot racing Derek at Byron. We won't talk about that. But no, I mean, it's we've talked to some people inside the industry on, does this sound like a good idea? And let's create some excitement about it. There's going to be, like I said, just a wonderful group of people. We're working on some, I'll say, special guests to come to the event. I'm just really pumped about it. I don't know what else to say.
Well, and one thing that I like, you guys rolled out the Mickey Thompson All-Stars.
Yeah.
Right. And so as that community grows, more people, like not everybody does drag and drive. It sounds weird, but not everybody does drag and drive. So those drag racers could end up here just testing and trying tires. Now they're like, hey, I would like to go drive my stuff. And then we end up with more drag and drive racers. I think it's great.
Yeah, we talked, I mean, obviously with Mickey Thompson, we go to a lot of different drag racing events. And we talk about the drag and drive at some of these other events. And people are like, it sounds like something I'd have fun doing with my son or my daughter, going out and doing this. It would be a good time. And we see a lot of that. And it does bring that atmosphere to it as well. It was funny. I'm trying to remember the event. We went to so many events last year. I can't remember, but there was a young couple that showed up and they had a Fox body Mustang. And they were just so excited all week. Like, we can't believe we're doing this. This is our first time doing this. And just seeing that excitement in people, I think it was great. I think it was great.
Oh, 100%. And then on Bill's side, like with the park and the whole facility, having people there every day for 5 days, dude, it doesn't get better than that, because by the day 3 of the drag and drive, some of these folks have had 5 days of track time. This could be pretty interesting. We could see some real numbers fall here.
Yeah. Yep. And again, going back to the track, when we were testing, the track was on point. I mean, it really was. And, we had some rain in there. They turned it around. We got back on track. It was phenomenal. And to your point, and that was one of the advantages that we talked about, was people are going to be able to dial their cars in, because we're going to have 2 days of test and tune.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be able to dial a car in before the event even starts.
Yeah, that should help.
Yes. And I'm thinking of certain people. I won't mention their names, but they'll give them a great chance to make some really good runs come time that we enter the competition. So it's going to be a good event for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's for sure. Bill, what are you excited about for this thing?
I'm excited. I echo Jason's enthusiasm, certainly. And apparently I can just kick my feet back and let him, he's a pro. But Jason and I think we're both incredibly passionate about the sport. I think we both recognize that we are in the entertainment business versus the racing business. So when we throw open our gates, you're not coming to my racetrack, you're coming to my home. And our management team, our full-time folks, we have 430 event staff at Summit
Wow.
Motorsports Park. And everybody buys into the idea that this is their home. And a year ago, we were in the middle of an event, and it was the Cavalcade of Stars, actually. And I walked out my office and I saw a woman who I didn't know deadheading flowers in the landscape. And I walked up to her and said, "Thank you for doing that. You don't have to." And she said, "No, this is our racetrack too." So the idea is that it really is a community of people. That's something my father started in 1973, and I'm very proud that we continue that same approach to what we do. So this is our home, no different than Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve. And we want people to enjoy themselves. We want them to be comfortable. We want them to be greeted with smiles and happy people and outgoing personalities and great food and clean bathrooms. And so we recognize that. I mean, you can pop open a lawn chair and sit on the side of a highway and watch cars drag race every minute of every day. So what happens on the track is part of the experience. But what happens, think about this, a 10-second car makes 3 runs a day. So Racer X just spent 30 seconds out of a 24-hour period driving his or her car. 30 seconds. So Eric or Mike, I don't know if you guys are hunters or into boats or whatever, but I'm going to say, Eric, I want you to take a week's vacation, go on your boat for 30 seconds a day, and then find something else to do. Think about that.
Yeah.
So what happens off track is as or more important than what happens in those 30 seconds on the racetrack. So Mickey is a wonderful partner. They could have taken this event anywhere, and they chose to bring it to my home, which I will be eternally appreciative of. And I think we've got an opportunity to do something really special.
Oh, I agree 100%. That's what some of the comments are saying here. Robert Vossi said this event is what it's all about. They're doing it for the right reasons. And we have only seen a few events over the years do a single location. And the more and more you think about it, the more it makes a lot of sense, because you can go different directions. You can change up, your route stops. You can do different routes. You can do a different way of looking at it. You can do different times of the day. I mean, all that kind of stuff that will help really, I don't know, drive this thing home. I think it's going to be really cool. So let's talk about route stops. Where are we going, Jason?
So we really have 2 route stops, and maybe what I could do is, if it's all right, I could go through a little bit of the schedule at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 2 days, which will be Tuesday and Wednesday, again, I mentioned that's test and tune, but we're going to put a try and buy component to that. And for those who don't know what a Mickey Thompson try and buy is, it's something we've actually done at Norwalk for several years for their opening day. Is you can come up, consult with us. We'll help you choose a tire if you want to try something different, or you've never had a Mickey on your car. Come up and consult with us, and we'll help you choose a tire to try. If you like it, you can purchase it. If you don't, you just turn it back in. There's, for whatever reason, and we'll help you throughout the day. There's going to be people on site to help you watch you make your run, to consult with you after the run, and really try to give you that experience of trying a product that can help your race program. Because one of the things that we've looked at over the past couple of years is, my boss has looked at this as, Mickey Thompson is not the hero of the story. Mickey Thompson is one of the tools that gets the hero to achieve their goal. So whether that goal is winning a drag race, going down the street, having your truck and just looking cool, we want to be that thing that gets you your we call it a podium moment. And I really like that view of it. So with the try and buy, that's what we're trying to do. How can we help you achieve whatever goal it is you have, which is typically increased performance on the drag strip? But we're going to be there to help you. And if for some reason, for whatever that reason could be, you're not satisfied, we just mount up your old tires and no harm, no foul. So we're going to do that
Wow.
for the first 2 days, which I think is exciting because, again, the people get a chance to dial their cars in. We can help them on site with some technical expertise. And I think this is really going to work out well. So the third day gets into the racing. So that's Thursday. And it'll start like a drag and drive. We'll race on the track during the morning and early afternoon. And then from there, we're going to go to prison.
Nice.
So yes, we're all going to go to jail together. We're going to head over to the Mansfield Reformatory. And for those that don't know what the Mansfield Reformatory is, it was actually the prison that they used to shoot the Shawshank Redemption movie. And it's also noted as one of the top 10 haunted places in the U.S. So
Nice.
I know there's people really excited about that. Now there's people like, I'm not going in that place. You don't have to go in, but you do need to get a picture of, and it's really a cool building, cool facility. They're going to have special parking there for us, so we don't have to worry about trying to mix in with the public. But it's just a great experience. It's not a very long drive from Norwalk, but it's a good, nice country drive through some nice roads, very scenic. If you like the farmland stuff, which I'm an old farmer, so I do. But it'll be a really cool experience. Very simple first day. Then head back to the track or head back to your hotel. We'll take pictures along the way. We're looking at, and again, this is kind of a work in progress here. So there's going to be more things that we add as time goes on. And we know that May seems like it's far away, but it's not. Bill probably has
very close. Very close.
And I keep coming up with weird and crazy ideas. So, so that's the first day. We're just going to keep it simple, nice drive, go back. We're not trying to stress anybody out. Really, just let's have a good time. The second day is one I'm really looking forward to because as you finish your drive on the first day, cars are still, let's call it, in street mode. Mm-hmm. So we're going to leave it that way. Instead of going to the track in the morning, we're going to head over to the Akron Derby Downs. And every racer is going to get a chance to go down the Akron Derby Down, the infamous hill over there. It's close to the old Goodyear Aerospace. This hill's been around since the mid-30s. And if you watch it on TV, it doesn't do it justice. I mean, and I've helped out with that event a few times. And, I'm watching the kids go down the hill, and I'm like, okay, it's very cool. It's very cool. And I see the passion. But when you get in those things, you still kind of get those jitters or that little lump in your throat that you get with drag racing. Like, okay, I'm about to go down this hill. Don't screw it up. That's what's going through my head. And so every racer is going to get a chance to go down a hill. And we haven't quite figured it out yet if we're going to use that their time down the hill as part of the competition or not. We might factor that in. So we'll see how that goes.
How fun. So guys that are of a certain weight may do better is what you're saying. So I got to figure this out.
Well, let me tell you a story about that real quick. I did race Alex, and she was in a legit soapbox car, and I was in a, let's say, adult size car. Aerodynamics trumps weight all the time. I got smoked bad.
Well, she's probably a better driver. Let's be honest.
Oh, well, there's no doubt about that. So,
awesome.
but it's a fun time, and again, and the other thing that we're looking at here is, again, trying to attract that younger demographic, that bring the youth out and get them connected with drag racing. We're going to have some kids there from the Soapbox Derby, kind of helping guide the racers, give them tips.
Oh, man.
We want them to see 200 race cars pulling into the Akron Derby Downs. Yeah, and interacting with the racers, because the racers are going to want to talk about the race cars. The soapbox kids are going to want to talk about, and they look at their soapbox cars as that's my race. Yeah. It's very cool, and they talk about spending time 3 or 4 nights a week in the garage with their parents working on their race car.
Oh, how cool!
And the rules for the soapbox, it's really incredible because if a pro stock racer looked at the rules for soapbox, they go, that's way too complicated. So but these kids really, it's a badge of honor if they make a rule up because of something they did. So they really got to put their minds and their hands to work. And that's what I love about it. And it's very similar to drag racing. So we want to try to make a connection there.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really exciting for both sides. From the soapbox, then we'll leave there and head over to Mickey Thompson for lunch. We'll have lunch at Mickey Thompson headquarters. And then from there, we'll go back to the track and start racing in the afternoon, and we'll race until dark. And then, Bill, I should probably let you take over from here because I think we might have some, as the sun goes down, Norwalk comes alive. That's
right. That's right. It's no small secret that the Baders have long enjoyed blowing things up. So Friday evening, we're going to have live music, right? And we are going to have spectacular fireworks. It's America's 250th birthday. It's going to be a year-long celebration at America's Racetrack. So Friday will be party, live music, and fireworks. So it'll be a pretty cool way to wrap up. I'm excited about Friday too. I think that's going to be a pretty cool day all around. I was not invited to the Derby Downs, but I may try to sneak in.
You're absolutely invited, Bill. We'll have a little shootout.
It was
okay. You and I.
It was in the mail, but it just hadn't gotten to you yet.
Yeah, exactly. So Friday will be cool. Friday night will be great fun.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are telling Eric we need to go, man. We got to figure this out.
It's just it's drag racing is fun, and I don't think. Well, I think we could do a better job of trying to get people out there to experience that. And again, Norwalk is the experience, but trying to incorporate all these things. I want the guy that's leading his class and the guy that's last in his class to have a good time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, hey, you're preaching my language, man. All day, every day. That's what we're about over here. And
I'm trying to figure out how I can sneak in there too a little bit.
Yeah, right. So that only gets us to night 2. What are we doing to finish out?
So to finish out on the third day, which will be Saturday, it's just purely racing at the track. Now, so there won't be any drive or any destination. We're going to race the track. We're going to have some exhibition vehicles. We've got some things that we're working on that are pretty big. And what I'll say, I'll kind of lead that out there a little bit, or leave that out there, that we're looking at a very large guest potentially coming to the event. So we're working on that. But we're going to have a good time. We're going to have some autograph sessions. We're looking at Mickey Thompson does off-road stuff too. And what's interesting is a lot of drag racers don't know that. And a lot of our off-road customers don't know that we do drag racing, which is just blows my mind. But so we're looking to get some Jeeps there with some big tires, and maybe we're going to crush some Priuses. I don't know. We're going to drive over something. I want to crush some vehicles, but we can't crush anything cool. So
yeah,
let's pick on Priuses.
Well, and let's be honest, they deserve it sometimes.
They deserve it most of the time.
Yeah, I think you've got the right crew on here to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we're gonna give people things to, as Bill said, entertain them on and off the track.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Vinny Barbone here, the world's fastest geo-tracker. Yes, that doesn't have big tires. The one thing I will say for Prius owners is at least it still does have internal combustion engine. That's the only thing that hybrid is the future. That's where we should have started, not with this straight to EV stuff. Give me a big honking V8, but when I need some mileage, I'll keep my foot out of it. I promise.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. Not at all either. I love the idea of the autograph session. That will help folks that deserve an autograph session. That'll help a lot, because then they, folks aren't necessarily trying to stop them in the pits and all that kind of stuff. They'll actually have a time that they can do that as well. So that'll help a lot. Yeah. The party sounds great. Let's talk about classes. Eric, you want to run through the class names real quick, and then we'll have these guys talk about them.
Yeah. So classes, we've got unlimited and unlimited iron. We've got Pro Mod radial and 275 radial. We've got Super Street Outlaw, Gasser, Pro DYO, and DYO. That should be all the classes for the Drag and Drive, correct?
Yeah. Yep. And we tried to keep it, working with Tom over at Sick the Mag, he's got a great program. It works. Mm-hmm. The rule package works. People have their cars built to that. we changed it slightly just because of the tire stuff. We said, okay, let's try to make it a little more interesting with the tire piece. But the rest of the rules, I mean, they're really Sick the Mag helped us out a lot with that. So, there could be a little tweak here and there, but I don't really foresee that. I'm really excited about, especially the dial your own classes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bring my Prius. We'll do it. I mean, but it gives everybody an opportunity, and we're talking to some of the local technical schools, some of the high schools about, hey, bring your shop classes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
check it out. Check this thing out. This is gonna be cool. So, one of the technical colleges, I mean, we're even talking about maybe a match race on Saturday.
Oh,
so
fun.
Yeah, just again, this is a sport where you can definitely come in and participate at any level and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So come on out and do it.
Right. Well, let's talk. When can people sign up for this? I mean, we got like Tanya Grabiak over here. I'm sure she's begging to drive Jay's car.
Yeah. So right now, as far as registration, we got to pick a date. It's going to be soon. I promise.
We are hoping to put. We already have a waiting list for trackside electric motorhome, non-electric camping. We've got a list of, I think, 40 plus guests that are chomping at the bit to buy tickets. So, and Jason and I didn't talk about this. So
Yeah.
we were hoping Monday, February 2nd, that tickets were going to go on sale, tickets to Mickey Thompson Turn and Burn.
That's
and I
awesome.
suppose we could be prepared, and maybe we're not. We need to talk about that. But could we be ready to take registration on sale, Jason, or are we a little bit away from that?
No, I from my perspective, I think we're ready to go from that. I mean, if you want to do it on February 2nd, the registrations will go through your website, correct, Bill?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll, and if we want to do that, I will generate a press announcement. We can circulate that on Monday, and there'll be a link. And on Monday, February 2nd, I guess what we need to think about, while tickets are unlimited, there are only going to be 200 of these.
Yeah.
And maybe we should probably talk about that, Jason.
Yep.
Is there a limit per class? Is it open to whomever if there are 40 cars that want to run Class X? So we'll talk about that. But I think we could certainly in the next 21 days,
Kelvin.
I will beef up our we work with a company called Tix.com. They're very good at what they do, but we may want to, I don't know how many people are going to hit this site at the same time to try to get an entry into this.
400.
So how many? 400?
400 trying to get 200 tickets.
Yeah. So I assure you, we'll be ready for that and can accommodate that. But so I would say in February.
Yeah, Kelvin Nelson makes a good point. Would it be possible to delay it when people aren't at sick week?
That is a good point.
Yeah.
We can. Calvin, we will certainly. Calvin has. He also said less rolling resistance. Heavier things don't fall faster. And that. I remember that in 1986 from a high school physics class. But in any case, I think we can certainly work around that to make sure that we want to hit everybody so everybody can get into this thing.
Well,
a couple people
let's
here
talk about
talking
dates.
Yeah. So so February 2nd is the drivers' meeting at 8:00 for a sick week. So we'll the dates for the event right now are the 5th through the 9th of May.
That's awesome.
So I probably should.
Weather will be perfect. Well, that's okay.
Jason,
what's happening.
Jason and I will collaborate this week, and By Monday, we will have an on sale date for Turn and Burn.
That's awesome. Yeah, didn't mean to put y'all on the spot for that one, but that's
And yes, you did. And yet you did.
Yeah. If the folks are asking, we're asking.
The people want to know.
Yeah,
we can thank Calvin.
Well,
Right.
remember this idea started in August, and Bill's putting his schedule together, and I'm going, "Hey, can we do this?" So
nice. Yeah,
I think it'd be a little disruptive.
If I'm looking right at the schedule, which I posted the link to earlier, that's one of your first events of the year, right? To kind of help kick off the season and all that.
For Summit Motorsports Park?
Yes.
Yeah, we open. Our opening weekend is in April 10, 11, and 12. We run some Friday Test and Tunes, some Edelbrock Super Series races, but May 5, 9 will be our first major event of the 26 race season.
How cool. Look at what you did, Jason.
Well, let's see how that sounds after the event. When I hear this, look at what you did, Jason.
Hey,
we got to keep the tone positive.
Yeah, we've lived that life, and we're south here. I'm in Arkansas, but our home track is Tulsa Raceway Park, so we host events out of there. So yeah, by May we're sweating. You guys it'll be beautiful up there. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what's cool? That time of year, we have elevator shaft air. Corrected altitude will be around sea level. Cars will fly in May. So, and it will be, it'll be very, what's the word I want to use? Very mild in May. So,
wow.
and throw on a Mickey hoodie and enjoy the sunshine and the crystal blue sky. And the other thing I want to comment on, it's been a few years since we have launched an inaugural event or have been part of an inaugural launch. And this has been fun. I think sometimes in bracket racing, everybody gets all excited. They come to the track. It's been a long, cold winter. They get all excited. They unload their car. They make a couple runs. They get into eliminations, and they're 002, dead 2, fourth out package, and they're on the trailer in round 1. And I think bracket racing has become so incredibly competitive. And I think somewhere along the line, we forgot that we were supposed to be having fun. And everything about this event has been joyful. The brainstorming, when Jason unveiled it at PRI, this conversation, and it's really cool to be part of something that's an inaugural that is just oozing with smiles and laughter and fun.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the biggest things that, like Devin Vanderhoof was talking the other day, he feels drag and drive racing is the grassroots. That's where a lot of people are headed, simply because it's just like you said earlier. You spend 30 seconds in your car over a weekend. That's tough. Like in a drag and drive, 30 seconds ain't gonna get us out of the parking lot. We're gonna spend 7, 8, 9 hours maybe a day in that thing. We're gonna be tired of it instead of looking for that next opportunity. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I mean, most people started off drag racing in a car that they drove on the street.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and again, I remember fondly going out on Test and Tune nights, and I mean, Bill, I'm sure doesn't remember this, but back in the 90s, me and my buddies would get together and rent Norwalk. So I mean, and it just we'd go up and have a great time, and it wasn't about trying to have a 009 package. It was about, hey, let's see how fast I can get my car to go.
Yep.
So I mean,
I don't even know what 009 package means.
Yeah. Well,
it's a very narrow on this. It's a very finite amount of time that can either it's the ABC Wide World of Sports, thrill of victory, agony of defeat, remember the downhill, and depending on which side of that wind light you're on. And again, this will be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a blast. So to recap, Mickey Thompson Turn and Burn at Summit Motorsports Park, powered by SICTA Magazine, May 5th through 9th. If you guys look up in the chat earlier, I dropped the link to the actual event on the summitmotorsportspark.com page. You can find all the details there, how the classes work, what, as soon as tickets are available, I'm sure they'll be on that link.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff. Get over there, start following this pretty hard, because I think this event's going to sell out as quick as anything else does. I mean, you're looking at minutes here, 200 racers. Is that what the cap is?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Is there a Sick Ward style, just come hang out, drive along with us ticket?
We haven't actually talked about that. And it's a great idea. So we're going to add that to our list of discussion items.
Nice.
It's, again, this thing, it's really cool because, again, I can have an idea in the middle of the night and I write it on my notepad and I call Bill in the morning. Hey, I got this idea. And, and then I go, I should probably ask my boss if this is okay to do. So, but it's really cool because, again, you've got Mickey Thompson, you got Summit Motorsports Park, you got SICTA Mag. We're kind of spitballing. You got ideas coming in from different areas, and we're spitballing all this stuff. So, a Sick Ward is certainly something that we should talk about. I mean, I think that that's something I can do. I can do that. I mean, so. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, let's have some fun. And it's, I can't be more excited about this and more excited about the opportunity. Sometimes I can't believe that, again, that this is actually happening. So I'm super pumped. And again, from the Mickey Thompson standpoint, let's help some people out with our tires, understand our tires a little bit. So we'll have that technical aspect at the beginning of the event. And let's help grow the motorsport by bringing people in that wouldn't normally come out, but they want to come out and have a good time and check this stuff out. See some really fast cars, hang out with some great people in the pits, and see some great entertainment, and get some ice cream. I mean, I can't forget that. I mean,
One thing I just thought of. So typical drag and drive rules, like to where they won't pit with their car, or will they be able to pit with their truck and trailer?
So we've talked about that a little bit, and with it being at one track, we really do not want to have. We want to try to keep the rules tight on that end, but not over the top. So you're not going to have access to your trailer. Okay, so you'll have your drag and drive trailer that you pull behind your car, but what we'll do is your trailer is going to be at the racetrack that we're going to be at. So we'll find a place to put the trailers. If you have a toter home and you want to stay in your toter home, that's fine. But we'll probably put some kind of plastic lockout thing on your trailer, so if you get into it, it opens it up. But if you want to stay in your toter home, Bill said there's camping spots available. There's pit spots. Again, that's another benefit to this type of event, right? You're not packing your stuff up every morning, and I don't mind that all the time, but hey, this will be nice. If you get a hotel, you can stay in one place the whole week. You're not carrying your luggage with you in your race car when you're going to these couple destinations that we're going to go check out.
Right. J-Wire, one of our sponsors here, says this might have been mentioned, but are ice cream scoops being given for trophies?
Yeah, look at Bill. We've talked about somehow doing something cool with the trophies. We haven't figured it out yet. But cool. I think
Jay and I were on the phone. Go ahead.
It is being we are looking at all options, so I won't rule it out. Typically, we have reserved those for one event a year, but that is the number one. The only time we hand out ice cream scoops is at the Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals, and part of the reason they're so sought after is because there are so few. We only issue 15 a year. And I remember Erica Enders came up one time and said, I'd like to order a duplicate trophy. And I said, I'm sorry, Erica, we don't do that. There's one. Wow. And so they are in very, very short supply. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we can get you an ice cream cone as a trophy, but you better eat it quick.
Right. There you go. Okay, well, let us thank some sponsors real quick. If you guys are able to, please hang out for a second. I want to kind of talk about some other stuff in track and drag racing and all that stuff. If y'all are cool with it, I want to say thanks to Molly Motorsports for being on board here with us. We appreciate them and all the cool stuff they do for us. And then, of course, our race car friends, guys, as we move into the second half of the show here, hit the share button. Let these, let all the folks that haven't seen this yet come in and see this as we begin to kind of talk about some of the other fun stuff that these guys do on a daily basis. And then, of course, our sponsors, can't thank them enough for all the stuff that they do for us. Summit Racing, Deechworks, Moulton Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, who's in the comments over here, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, and of course, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. All right, sir. Eric, you want to hit do we have a Deechworks video?
Not a video. Do you want to talk about the Race Car Friends membership real quick, though?
We can, yes. Sorry, let me get back up to my notes. Once you hit it, man, I'll let you, we'll talk about that.
All right. If you're looking for a way to grow a tighter group of friends that are into the same things you are, the Race Car Friends membership may be the best way to do it. We'll be setting up 10 plus events this year with drinks and snacks each day. We're hosting member-only live streams, discounted merch, event entry giveaways, and a bunch more. Again, $10 a month and more than $4,000 in event giveaways available. Again, you can find more at dragdriverpete.com/racecarfriends-member, and that link will be in the chat.
Yeah, I'm dropping it now. That's going to be a really fun thing as we lead into the rest of 2026. That's something we rolled out at PRI. If you guys didn't catch, we've brought in a membership. I'm kind of excited about it, as you can tell. And Sick Week is our first time to really kind of be able to lean on that. So it's going to be awesome. Deechworks, again, the official fuel delivery system of Drag Driver Pete right here. Let's see. Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, regulators, filters, lines and fittings, and pump modules and surge tanks, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 3,000 horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. You guys can use DDR10 as your 10% discount code on all of your order at deechworks.com. All right. Okay. Now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's move into some fun stuff. Obviously, the Turn and Burn is a great. I can't wait. Jason being part of an event. He's been to like 50 Dragon drives, and it's helped thousands of people will go faster in their car. But for you to be involved in putting one on, I'm kind of excited about that. But
before we get in, we've got a couple of questions in the chat I wanted to bring up here. So from Calvin Nelson, what is harder to design tires for, land speed racing or drag racing?
Oh, Bill, you want to take that one?
No.
Well, that's a great question. And they both offer different challenges. Land speed racing is really about, the tires got to stay in one piece, essentially. So, when we were really into the land speed stuff, the failure point wasn't the carcass of the tire. It would actually be, because of centrifugal force, the beads would snap. It would be a tensile break with the beads. Now, when they would do that, that's 700 miles per hour.
Wow.
So we would test the tires to 700 miles per hour. And if they held up to 700, we were good. So, and there's different standards out there and different ways of thinking about that, and they're all applicable. But the land speed stuff was certainly a challenge because there was no tread on the tire whatsoever. It was essentially a carcass strapped to a couple of beads. But what's interesting about it, and what a lot of drag racers don't know, is that's the same materials that we use in drag tires.
Oh,
that carcass is made out of the same nylon. We use the same stuff that we use in our bias. I'll be specific, the bias drag tires. So I would say land speed racing, because of the applications, boy, I can't call it easy. But drag racing, because of the multiple applications, the multiple use, as an example, when we brought out the 275 ET Street Radio Pro, we thought, man, if we could get a tire that would allow the racers to go 460s, that would be incredible. I mean, 460s on a 275. Well, now they're going 340s. So that's a great challenge from the drag racing community of, here's a product that we designed it for, but racers have a way of taking that to the next level. So I'll say drag racing is harder just because of the size of drag racing and all the different applications. I mean, I got asked one time, how do you know what to develop for drag racing? How do you know what to work on? And I said, well, it's really easy. You know, have we met a need in the market? Is it yes or no? If it's no, then you need to work on meeting that need. If it's yes, well, then you need to work to maintain that. So you're always working on just about everything. Some things we're going down to Florida next week to test for a whole week.
Wow.
A lot of different things. So drag racing keeps us on our toes. I'll put it that way.
There you go. All right. And then one more question here from Stephen Darks here. I need input on some 235s for a car that weighs 23 to 2,500 pounds, K-swapped car, so low torque, till boost.
So on the input for the 235s, I'm assuming air pressure or tire type?
Probably tire type for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, again, it's going to come down to horsepower. The weight of the car isn't extremely heavy. What's interesting about that is we have some new products coming out at the beginning of the year, and one of those is going to be a 235 in our ET Street R lineup.
Ooh.
So depending on the power level, I mean, if you're putting a lot of power to this vehicle or you're racing on some surfaces that may not be what I'll call up to Norwalk standards or Summit Motorsports Park standards, you might want to look at that ET Street R. But we do offer that ET Street SS. So if you're driving it a lot on the street, look at that ET Street SS. That might be a better option for you.
Yeah, this car he's talking about, it won't fit a bigger tire than a 235, and
Sure.
he's like 700 horsepower is kind of his goal in a stick shift car, so it should be kind of fun.
Stick shift car, I would lean towards ET Street R. It's going to be more forgiving. Yeah,
that's awesome, and it's an MG 1100. If you guys know what that, it's like a Mini Cooper's or big brother, so it's like very. Anyways, he likes very small.
A real long wheelbase.
Yeah, a real long wheelbase. A lot of weight in the front.
Yeah. And then Nico here, what would be the best tire for a mid 8-second stick shift drag and drive car? Asking for a friend.
He's asking for himself.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a loaded question, but what I would look at is something with a stiff sidewall, something with what I'll say a firmer compound. So you'd want to look at our M5 compound. That's the direction you want to go for depending on the tire size. I'm going to assume 28, 10.5, 29.5, 10.5, somewhere in that range. Mm-hmm. We offer those in stiff sidewalls. That would be the direction I'd go. I'm looking at the car behind me because that's a stick shift car. So
nice.
Yeah. He doesn't know just from technical knowledge, but also from physical knowledge.
Yeah.
Experiential knowledge.
Calvin saying, I've got some 275s that are 6 years old. They have never been run and look new. Will I have issues?
Boy, Calvin's got the questions tonight, doesn't he? I mean, he's
awesome. Nivlac 57 for anybody wanting to follow what Calvin and his son do, or Calvin and his dad do.
You know, that's one of those things. We get asked that question a lot, and it's really hard to determine how good a tire is going to be based off its chronological age. On a race tire like a 275, we'd say 4 years. Now, does that mean that something that's 6 years old is not going to work? No, not necessarily. But it all depends on how they've been stored, ambient temperatures, all sorts of things. So that's why we usually typically say 4 years. But I'll say, depending on what you're doing with it, Calvin, if you've got the tires and they're new, they've never been run, before you spend any money, try them first.
Yeah.
And you guys will have you'll have 275s at Sick Week, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So Calvin's bringing down a fourth gen Camaro that they've put an Atlas 4200 in that he says is going to be the fastest car they've ever built. So should be pretty fun. These guys have built some fun stuff. So
I can't wait to see
the folks that are over there watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Wow. Interesting. Great questions, guys. Appreciate that a whole bunch. Let's talk about some stuff like maybe how about Bill goes first because I think we've let Jason talk a whole bunch tonight. But let's talk about favorite moments from like 2025. What's been what's been y'all's what's top of mind?
Wow. Well, we have what almost 80 event days. We're open the middle of April through the middle of October. I measure success not in dollars and cents, but in moments, memories, accomplishments, guest satisfaction. Um, there are a couple that stick out to me. One of them was the Cavalcade of Stars. It's held in conjunction. We run a Lucas Oil divisional and regional the week before our NHRA national event. We had the highest car count in the North Central Division at 600 and almost 640 cars that we had to eliminate twice. Um, and on, I don't remember what day it was, but we had 6 3/4 inches of rain, um, coupled with tornado sirens going off and a funnel cloud. And and those are the moments that really test your mettle. And the ground was so saturated and there was nowhere for the water to go. So we literally started sucking surface water, filling vac trucks, water trucks, taking it to a remote corner of the property and dumping it.
Oh my
And we did this
gosh.
for 18 hours straight, 16 hours, some crazy thing like that.
Mm.
And the sun came out, the drainage finally was able to do its thing, and the race teams, my team, the NHRA, everybody kind of came together, and there was such an incredible sense of accomplishment associated with that. That was a really big deal to me.
Wow.
So that was one of my memorable moments of that I don't ever care to relive again.
Yeah, want that definitely.
Um,
That's a memory. Must be a great memory.
yep.
Yeah.
And then one of the other ones that popped into my head during the national event, a long time dear friend, going clear back to our IHRA days, presented me with the Wally that he won at the inaugural Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals in 2007. The
Oh
gentleman's
wow.
name is Mike Walters. I've known Mike. I started at the track when I was 10, so I grew up with these people for
Yeah.
nearly 50 years. And it was, I think, on Wednesday, the national event, I was trying to set ScreenWorks big screen. I was trying to tell him where to put it, and Mike was patiently standing over on the side, and he had his arms behind his back, and he presented me his Wally from the inaugural Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals, and still had the medallion that he was awarded in the winner's circle, and that sits proudly in my office. I do not have the skill set to win a Wally on my own, so this is this is how I collect these. But for Mike to do that, it sits right next to the trophy that John Force won his first race at Norwalk in I think 2014. He presented me his Wally, but
Wow.
um, but Mike's Wally um, will hold a special place in my heart. So those were the two things that popped into my head.
That's
That's
amazing.
super cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Jason, what about you, man?
Boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know if I can pick one or two memorable moments. I mean, it was a fantastic year from a lot of different aspects. I mean, I consider myself a very, very fortunate person to be able to do the things that I do. When I growing up, if I could have written this path out when I was 12 years old, this would be the path I'd be on. So I am very, very fortunate. And, I guess Mickey Thompson supports everything well, I shouldn't say everything because I have some pretty harebrained ideas, but they are a very supportive organization. We're getting back to developing some really unique products, and I'm extremely excited about some of those that we launched at PRI. Some of them are still in the development phase, but I just try to take every moment as I can and enjoy it as much as I can. Certainly a memorable moment was the week that the Taylors were in town, where we came up with this idea for the turn and burn.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun week. Again, we did the soapbox. We went over to Goodyear and toured the plant, the race tire plant. We threw Alex in a simulator and almost got her sick. We had a great week, and the fun part of that for me really was, my wife was part of that, and that means a lot to me. And I celebrated 10 years with my wife this year. So
Nice.
that's something that any woman that can put up with me like that, it deserves a medal.
Well, you're gone a lot. That helps. That's what my wife tells me.
Yeah, I mean it's the truth. I always tell people, I said, you either got a great person at home or you're single.
Yeah.
So I'm a really lucky guy. And so to pick one moment out of the year, there's just so many, but I'll say 2025 was just a great year in general. Yeah. And I'm looking to 26 to be an even better. I really am. I love sharing these experiences with all the folks that I get to meet, and I sharing those experiences with my family, that makes it even better. And I got to say one thing too about Summit Motorsports Park. Bill, you said you had how many employees? 400 and
we have 430 event staff.
Okay, so 430 event staff, but yet I will still see Bill in the staging lanes calling cars to the track. He'll still be working the staging lanes. Bobby, you barely see her. She's a blur running around with a ponytail, hitting everybody as she goes. And Jamie's working the store. Evan's working the track. It's a family affair over there.
That's cool.
And, they really just, that whole atmosphere is about family. It's just a really great place to be. And people are very passionate that race there. And, again, we're just excited to be able to hold this event at that facility and with Bill and his family.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet. I'm looking forward to it sometime in early May.
Yes. You have to come out. You have to come out. Yeah.
Question here. Ask Bill the car count for his Halloween Classic, their week-long event that ends the season.
Thanks, Billy.
So yes, thank you. So the Halloween Classic, which is 52 years old. It's usually in October. The event this year, October 2 through 11. That is a 1,200 plus car, legitimate 1,200 cars from 20 different states, Canada. It is a very special, one-of-a-kind event that is the exclamation point to our year. So that's our Halloween Classic.
I cannot imagine. That gives me anxiety.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because it gives me anxiety too. The record at the 25th anniversary, we did 1,623 cars.
Oh my God.
And we had to park race cars in spectator parking.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about anxiety. But our schedule's built for 1,200 cars, because remember, it's 10 days long. And the goal is to get people as much track time as possible. Saturday, the facility gets transformed for Halloween. Everybody's in costume. We shut down for an hour. 600 kids go trick-or-treating, pit space to pit space. We do a kids costume contest, an adult costume contest, really adult costume contest, adults only. And then we cap things off with our air show. So we run the first round, cut it in half, and we take about 600 cars into Sunday. The anxiety comes in when it's snowing or raining, or the track temp dips below 50 degrees. and we're expected to keep every car stuck to the racetrack. So, but yeah, that's our Halloween classic.
Wow.
That's
Incredible.
crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there when the lights when Bill turns off the lights for the trick or treat for the kids, and you see all the trailers lit up and they're all decorated. It's really a cool experience. Yeah.
That's
Well,
so cool.
where else can a kid hit over 1,000 homes in a very safe family atmosphere? You literally see kids walking around with pillowcases
That's
um,
awesome.
full of candy. And the great thing about our community, it's right, multi-generational, family-centric, Christian conservative values. It's just safe.
Wow.
It's a community. Everybody watches everybody's kids. Everybody, is their brother's keeper, so to speak. It's what we do. I think sometimes we all have to be reminded how blessed we are to be in. Of all the different things we could do for a living, this one's pretty cool. Really
Wow.
is.
Super cool. All right. Well, we talked about ice cream earlier, and we're going to talk about ice cream a little bit more. So let's talk about how and why it started and how much ice cream that you go through.
Our family, we're Lebanese, and we have ice cream makers in the family. We have chocolate makers in the family. Ice cream was always a big thing at holiday time. I remember as a little kid, my dad would come home from work. He would have a half gallon of ice cream. He would cut it in half, and he and I would sit on the floor and watch TV, which contributed greatly to childhood obesity. I will tell you that. But so we would sit and we would eat ice cream and watch Dark Shadows, which I'm sure you guys don't remember, but little kids should not be allowed to watch that show. So my father had an idea in 19 we have sold ice cream for almost or just over 30 years at the racetrack.
Wow.
And the idea was, let's sell a pound of ice cream for $1. Who can be Have you ever seen an unhappy person eating ice cream?
No.
And it literally and the deal was there was a scale right there, and we would scoop you ice cream and you would put it on the scale, and if it wasn't a pound, you got it for free. And the ice cream thing just came alive and took on a life of its own. And here we are all these years later, still serving ice cream at Summit Motorsports Park.
That is too cool.
So, yeah.
So how much do you
Yeah.
think you go through in a season?
The last almost 75, 80,000 pounds, 80,000 servings of ice cream, something like that.
Holy
Yes.
And
That's
keep in
great.
mind, up until a few years ago, that was all hand scooped.
Yeah.
So you watch these kids over the years have these Popeye arms, and along with carpal tunnel probably, but yeah. And then after COVID and the crazy washout from that, we went to prepackaged pints, which are a pound, and it allowed us to get it out more quickly. There was a little romance of scooping ice cream lost, but we'd be running Top Fuel or Funny Car, and there'd be 400 people waiting in line
Oh my gosh.
to get their ice cream scooped. So now we can serve it at the perfect temperature. There's no waiting. We can sell it from multiple locations. So I'm very nostalgic and old school, but it probably was the right thing to do in order to move the line along.
Wow. Yeah. Eric's dad in there says Eric must have ice cream.
Right.
Come on, let's go, Pops. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So last couple questions on ice cream here. Why is it one of the greatest things in drag racing, and what it does for the soul of the fans? Obviously, you just talked about that line, so
Mhm.
so clearly it's it's a huge hit. But what do you think it does for all those fans?
I think oftentimes when you create an idea, you don't necessarily know the impact until many years later. And we did it for a few years, and then all of a sudden it just started to gain forward momentum and energy, and it really kind of took on a life of its own. And I think it's a feel good. I think my dad was right all those years ago. Do you ever see an unhappy person eating ice cream? Um, think about what you do on a nice summer Sunday. You hop in your car, go for a ride, and get ice cream.
Yeah.
I just think it's family centric. I think it's America. I think it tastes great. Um, it's just it's just something that families do together
Mhm.
in a relaxed, fun atmosphere. You don't see ice cream being served in a boardroom, you know, but at holiday time, at July 4th, you go out on a Sunday. It's just Americana, I think.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, well, I
Hey,
want
Mike,
to go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
This is really embarrassing. My battery's about ready to. I have about 5 minutes left on my battery on my computer.
Okay. Well, let's ask.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, right.
Rookie. I mean,
He
come
said, I
on.
didn't think I'd be on here an hour and a half.
I'm texting my wife. I'm like, can you run me out my battery card?
let's ask this, and we'll let Jason go first. I just want just some tips or tricks for us promoters that are out there. What are some things that you guys see? Oh, he is going. Bill, this is probably more directed towards you, but what are some things that promoters can do? I mean, if you have that kind of experience, what are things that those guys can do to not necessarily put people in the stands, but create a good time for fans and racers and all that?
This isn't oversimplification, but it's really hard. Um, I, we are not in the racing business. And I think it's very difficult for dyed in the wool, hardcore, um, older people who are steeped in all the tradition of drag racing. But we are in the entertainment business. And I think we need to focus on our attention in every way. We have to give people a reliable timing system. We have to give them a killer racetrack, and a killer surface to race on, and we have to do it safely. But it's such a small percentage of the experience that one of the things we've been really good at is focusing on all the off-track activities that take place. We understand that we want mom, dad, and the kids to come to the racetrack. We don't want just dad there and mom and the kids at home. So what are your creature comfort features? Um, Nice, clean bathrooms, a playground for kids, um, to have green spaces where you can cook out, or where you can let your dogs run, or where you can let kids throw a football or a baseball or a frisbee or whatever. I think we need to be experiential, and it's not just about the microcosm of time that is spent going down the racetrack. So, number one, we're in the entertainment business. Number two, we need to entertain mom, dad, and the kids. And number three, um, we need we need to excel at creature comfort features to make sure that the guest experience is positive. And what I would encourage every promoter is something we do at Norwalk, and that is every person on your team should be a guest in your facility, which means you go through the same line they go through to get in. You get in the same bathroom line or use the same porta john that your guests use. You go to your food stands and you stand in line, you buy the food, you sample the food. Each one of us should play the role of guest at our racetrack, and I guarantee you it would be an eye-opening experience.
Oh, 100%. There's been times I spent a lot of time at Tulsa Raceway Park, and there's times where you look over and the line for the bathroom is 30 people deep, and you're like, oh my gosh, we need more porta potties, or we need
Yep.
other opportunities for folks to just get a spot. And Same for the food. The food
Yep.
line's long.
Yep. The one other thing I would say is we have the Bader Family Guarantee that says when you visit Summit Motorsports Park, we will guarantee your experience. And if you are dissatisfied, we will resolve the problem to your satisfaction, whatever that means. That means a refund. That means an apology. That means tickets to another event. We resolve the problem to your satisfaction, period. Um, so, so how, do you believe in your brand? How strongly do you believe in your brand? And are you willing to offer an unconditional money back guarantee? The other thing we do is a community code of conduct that says when you come to Summit Motorsports Park, the expectation is you're going to act a certain way. Because let's say Eric, you or Mike, you have a buddy who wants to know more about this drag racing thing, decides to bring his wife and kids to a race. He's in the grandstands. Little Susie gets beer dumped on her. A neighboring guest is using profanity. I guarantee you that they probably aren't coming back to the racetrack.
Mhm.
So, and it's not that you can control everything. We have a texting line if fans are inside the park and are having a bad experience. There's a texting line. We wristband all of the children that come through the gate. So if we have a lost child, we can immediately identify that child with the information on the underside of the wristband to reunite that child with mom or
Wow.
dad. Um, Man, we are in the guest service business. That's what we are in, not the racing business. So those
Wow.
are just some
That's
of the
awesome.
things that I think, and I guarantee you there are some folks that are going, wow, and other people that are thinking that guy's crazy. It's about the cars. It's partially about the cars, but it's about the people, you
Yeah.
know? And so those are some of my thoughts.
Man, that is an interesting take. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, that really will go a long way as people watch this over time. Hopefully they'll think, man, am I doing any of that?
Mhm.
My, you know, so, uh, Jason, we were asking about tips and tricks for promoters.
Well,
Anything on your
I don't think I'm really a promoter, so I don't know that I can add to that. You
I
know?
would disagree with that. I think you promote our sport every day. But
Yeah.
unlike a Boy Scout, you were not prepared. As I
Well, I
see,
know.
you have abandoned your computer and now you are all vertical. But I
Yes.
would say, Jason, you promote our sport every minute of every day you're breathing.
Well, it's easy to do when you love something, right? And you believe in it. And again, I don't know that I put forth any effort to do it, but it's certainly I want people to know how much I love this sport and how much I invest. I mean, I've invested over half my life in it, and Bill, you've invested more than a way. I
Mhm.
mean, I know that you started when you're 10 and you're 35 now. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
right. I'll be
a little bit more than
59 in
half.
August. Yeah.
But, it's one of those things to where I think Bill covered a lot of it. You know, we need to have a good place to go, a good place to race, and we need to treat each other with respect and treat each other decently. Um, with this sport, there comes a lot of passion, and that's a great thing. Um, but at the end of the day, some of the little things that we might feel are big, like I didn't get the parking spot I wanted at the racetrack. The guy living in a cave in the Middle East doesn't really care about our problems when we talk about that stuff. We are all very fortunate to be able to go out and do this sport, have a good time at it. And I don't want to sound too philosophical about all this, but it is true. I mean, as far as let's make sure that we enjoy the experience as best we can. So, and I think that there are a lot of promoters out there that are doing fantastic jobs of creating a great experience, not only for the racer but for the fan. And as I look around the screen, and going vertical, Bill, does make me look a little slimmer, I think. Um, but as I look around and I get to go to different places and experience this stuff, I think everybody's got their heart in the right spot, but we're at a pivotal point in time where we can really kind of define what the next 20 or 30 years of our sport's going to look like. You know, there's enough people and good people in this market that can help with that. And I'm just happy to play whatever role I can play with it. But
Yeah.
again, I definitely got to thank you guys for allowing us to come on and chat about all this stuff. I mean, again, I feel I'm a very lucky person. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah, this has been a blast. I appreciate you guys. I want to do one more ad read, and then I want to find out like what your first cars were and what you drive now and all that kind of stuff. So let me do this ad read and then we'll do that. Performer Built Transmissions is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performer Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say our transmissions are not just built, they are Performa built. All right. I want to say big shout out to Ryan Snyder. He was on last week, just really dropping transmission voodoo knowledge on our brain here. So let's talk to you guys. What was your guys' first car like? You guys both grew up in car stuff. Like, what did you guys drive first?
Bill, I'll let you go first.
My first car was an all black 1978 Monte Carlo. And I don't even know how or why that was my first car, but that was my first car. I worked from the time I was 10 years old, and you would think, right, that your dad owns a racetrack, that maybe it would be something a little more racy or sexy, but no, it was a 78 Monte Carlo. And I'll never forget, the first thing I did was put a killer radio in it. And then the second thing I did is I saved my money and I put raised leather tires and new wheels on it. And
Yes.
so, but I drove that car for a long time.
That's
I
awesome.
know they're raised white Mickey Thompson tires, right? I think if I recall correctly, Bill.
Yes, I believe that is correct. Yes.
All right. I like it.
Jason, what about you, buddy?
So my first car, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, my dad wasn't really in the cars, and God bless him. Again, he's one of those people that supported my craziness. I bought my first car when I was 12 years old. It was a 1964 Ford Galaxy 500. Had a 390 in it with an automatic transmission, and it needed a lot of work. So at a very young age, I learned how to do body work and rebuild engines and things like that, and I still have it. It's actually on the other side of my screen right now. I'm staring at it going, I haven't driven that car since I graduated high school, but one day I'm going to get it going again. So,
Hey, at least
but
it's not outside.
yeah, it's inside. I've actually started working on it quite a bit here in the past year. So the plan is at some point, I've got a vision for it, but yeah, as I start going back and looking at that 12-year-old's body work, I'm cringing. But so I still have my first car.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Can I tell you what my favorite car was as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So we had an old Cadillac hearse at the racetrack that we used to call it the meat wagon, and it was our ambulance. And that thing was so cool. And I was always I was always a young man of business. So I figured out, and it used to sit on the starting line, that I could rent that out and use it as a date vehicle for kids and upperclassmen while I was going to school. And the front seat was a certain price, and then the back, because there was a gurney in there, that was considered the presidential suite. So I had a lot of fun with that hearse, and then we sold it to a young man whose brother was my best friend, and he decked it all out and took it to the University of Notre Dame, and he drove it around campus for 4 years. I would love to have that vehicle back. So.
Yeah. If you're watching, please let him know that.
Bring that baby home.
If anybody
that
knows
thing
where
could
Bill's
talk.
hearse is at, let's
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Well, what about current daily drivers? You guys have anything cool today?
It depends on what day it is.
Okay.
No. I mean, I guess for me, I mean, my daily run around is it's an Explorer Sport. So, put a little tune on it. It was actually my wife's car first. So, we put a tune on it and somehow I got blamed for speeding tickets. But, but no, so I get the hand me down. So, which I'm totally fine with.
You and me
And
both.
and
Brother.
I have a deal with Ford Motor Company and Don Tester Ford, and I get a brand new Ford F-150 to drive every 2 years. So
Nice.
Yep.
I'm a truck guy. I love my trucks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
How
especially
fun.
when they're free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love free trucks.
Yeah.
Right.
2 and 3, I'm in. That
That's
sounds,
right.
Right.
sounds like a good
I
deal.
mean,
Jason,
I'm
do you
a
think I could get a killer set of wheels and tires for that?
Oh, absolutely. Bill, I mean, it depends on what direction you want to go. You want to make something for the strip, or do you want to, let's put some, you know what, we make a 58-inch tall off-road tire. And I
No,
think with your personality, that would
no,
probably lend itself well. I mean, think
Yeah.
of all the
no lift
Priuses,
kits.
Bill, you could drive over.
No, but we talked about hybrids a long time ago,
Yeah,
and that truck will run sub 14 seconds in the quarter mile.
Oh
yeah,
man. That's
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
impressive out of a full size truck that, that'll sneak up on some like 10-year-old Mustangs,
Oh
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Not that I do that, but just knowing that I can is fun.
right.
That is great. All right, well, we've got one more segment to talk about, and guys, I just want to say thank you so much for spending the time with us tonight. It's been awesome. Again, I've never met Bill in person. I can't wait. I am now going to figure out how to get there at least sometime during that weekend to come up and experience Summit Motorsports Park. We appreciate all just y'all's hard work for forever. I mean, you guys have been the top tier facilities for a very, very long time. So thank you for coming on tonight and spending the time with us, man.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that a whole lot.
Yeah.
Thank
Appreciate
you
All right.
very
that a whole lot.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Jason,
guys.
we'll see you in 2.5 weeks, man. Can't wait.
Absolutely. I will be there. You'll know where to find me.
Jason wears different shoes every time I see him, but he's always checking the starting line on the track. I don't know where he orders these Trackmaster 3000 shoes at, but I gotta get me some of those.
Well, it's over the years, you just kind of, you find the shoe that works the best for different tracks. And if, like you pointed out, for every track, I have a different shoe depending on the surface. But, you know what? I'll give Bill a plug here. We won't need to test the track at Summit Motorsports Park. We know it's going to be good.
Yeah,
We know
that's
it's going to be,
exactly.
you won't have to
That's
worry
right.
about, I won't have to go up there and check it out. We know what we're going to encounter. There's going to be some great ETs coming out of that facility beginning
Oh,
of May.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait. Again, just for everybody that just jumped in here, we had a huge spike in numbers there real quick. So May 5th through 9th, going to be Mickey Thompson Turn and Burn, powered by Sickta Magazine at Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio. Going to be an awesome event. And look for more details over the next few days. We
Yep.
roped these guys into talking about registration dates and all that stuff. And so they're working on those, and there'll be more updates I would say probably on Mickey Thompson and on the Summit Motorsports Park pages.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
gentlemen. Thank you very
Eric,
much. We
Mike,
appreciate
thank
y'all
you so much.
very, very
Yeah,
much.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Dude, how cool, man. What
And
a
so awesome.
That was awesome.
I mean, you can't beat Jason's passion for drag and drive. And man, Bill has me definitely wanting to go to Summit Motorsports Park and to get ice cream. Like both of those things.
I'm wondering how late the ice cream shop is open down the street. I may need to go get some ice cream tonight. All right, well let's finish out this last few minutes here talking about J-Wire Solutions and all the fun stuff that is going on within the drag and drive community.
What's up, guys? My name is Cole from Fort Worth, Texas. Expert car and marine wiring solutions that you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, hell, even your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience way better, like their blinker module that is just a must for all drag and drive cars. This module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. Find all the details at jwiresolutions.com.
All right. Again, thanks to Jay. Talked to him yesterday for a little bit. Dude, they got some stuff coming for Brian's car. He said they are taking 2026 very seriously for this 850 stuff. They're going to just, it's next level stuff. Speaking of next level stuff, our boy, Matt Donovan, dude, he said he would tell me what's under the cover, and I told him no. I said, I want to find out when everybody else finds out. This thing's going to be nuts. Look at like that flat piece that's above his right shoulder. That's the intake on this car. So I can't figure out what it is. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to find out.
You got me wanting to like zoom in on the picture and all that stuff.
Yeah. Right. It's got some 80s, late 80s, early 90s style wheels on it. I'm like, man. So he's been building a new YouTube channel. It's called GTB Race Crew. It's on YouTube and TikTok both. So they're basically, this mystery build has some folks that are like some heavy hitters in drag and drive world going to build this thing. He did say 200 plus miles an hour is the goal. I didn't know. I asked him, is that quarter mile or land speed stuff? He didn't answer that. Freaking jerk. So way it goes. Like Jared Bonnet was in here earlier. Jeremy Bonnet's in there helping. Clark Rosenstengel, Steve Morris, and dude, like the list of people that are involved in this thing is like basically a who's who of drag and drive racers. So this is going to be really fun to watch. And essentially, they said that they've been working with Keith Turk on rule sets. So, that doesn't answer the question either. I was hoping he would slip up in the video, like say something wrong. No, he didn't. He's got it figured out pretty good there. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Good job on there. And I'm excited about seeing this come together and all those cars, all those people put together something that will be, they said it'll be open to anybody on the team to race, which I think will be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Community project.
The next video of Ralph Boyd's trip across Route 66 in the Eagle Talon that we've talked about here a few times, replace the transmission, all that kind of stuff. That video has dropped now. You can see that for those watching. 2,300 mile DSM road trip across Route 66, Cadillac Ranch, and finally making miles. Man, great job on this. Like, even the artwork and everything here is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And they've been having a blast. It really has me excited about some of the Route 66 trips we're going to be on this year. The circuit's there. A lot of the single day stuff we're doing is going to be on Route 66. 666, of course. King of the Open Road is doing some Route 66 traveling. I probably wasn't supposed to say that, but they're looking at that stuff. We've been talking, Jared and I've been talking. So it's going to be crazy, man. Big shout out to Ralph for doing this. This channel's great. I think this is like his 4th video from this series. So pretty awesome to fly in, work on a car for 3 days, and then take off driving and drive it 2,300 miles.
Yeah.
And then next up, of course, Deal Brothers Racing. These guys bringing the Phoenix Mustang back is what they're calling it. Have you been watching these videos? This is like my morning. I drop my oldest kid off at school and I come back and I turn on whatever new video the Deal Brothers have going on. They're like 45 minutes long. So it takes some time it takes you like a morning or two to get through them. But the car fired the other day. They've got all the radiator and coolant. And you can see oil cooler here getting ready, or transmission cooler. I can't remember what he said on it, but this car's getting close, man, and it needs to. We got 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Pretty crazy.
And this next one, the last one here, this one's a really cool story here. Nick Taylor's dad, Todd Taylor, messaged us the other day and said, we will be competing in this year's Sick Week 2026 in Florida together as a father-son team. The car they are driving is a 1982 Camaro Z28 that Nick grew up riding in as a kid. They call it the Project Gen X 383 small block with nitrous. Again, Nick grew up riding in that car as a kid. Todd had to sell it during a divorce in the mid-2000s. 3 years ago, Nick bought it back from the gentleman that he bought it from and gave it back to Todd as a Father's Day present. How cool is that?
Dude, I think we talked about that. I feel like we talked about that one morning on the show or something. I'll have to go back about him buying the car back and giving it. It's just super cool, man. I'm really excited about this. To see these guys and do this, man. Like, listen, I'm telling you, that father-son stuff, that's pretty awesome. I hope at some point my daughters will like do some father-daughter fun bonding with me here, and we'll do some road tripping and drag and drive racing. They go to the circuit, but they're not in it yet.
Yeah. So you guys know you can follow Nick at Nicky Bobby Inc. everywhere on all socials, and you can follow Todd at Paws PAPAW Todd's Garage.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to be a cool one. Well, dude, that's our show.
Dude, what a show. Like, I have to say, this year, the guests that we've had, the shows that we've had have been killer to start the year. So I'm super excited. Each show, by the end of the show, I'm just more and more pumped. Like I said, like, I need to figure out how to get to Summit Motorsports Park, and if I can make it happen for this turn and burn, I definitely want to check that out. But man, just another great show.
Yeah, I can't wait. This year's going to be crazy. I feel like we're moving into a whole other level of stuff, 90 or 135 episodes today, it's plus all the other news episodes we've done, which is probably somewhere in the 100 teens. I mean, dude, that's it's 460, 450 episodes of us live talking about drag and drive racing. Pretty crazy. And then next week, man, Thomas West, I can't wait. We got to hang out with him at PRI at the Sick Cart Chaos. Say that 3 times fast. And super cool dude. I can't wait to talk to him about some stick shift stuff. I don't understand any of that either. It's going to be crazy next week. And then everything. Oh, hey, your dad says only 364 miles to Norwalk. Knock that out in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's literally on the screen next to my notes. I was looking at that earlier to see how far it was.
That's awesome. Well, man, send us out of here. Let's get back to it.
All right. Thank you, everyone that tuned in tonight. Great night, great comments, great questions for both Bill and Jason. Appreciate everybody putting those in there. Made for great topics. Thanks to all of our race car friends, all of our Race Car Friends members, and a little bit of FOMO, but you're going to see a bunch of Race Car Friends here real soon at Sick Week. Again, appreciate each and every one of you guys. And again, our sponsors, can't do it without this great list of sponsors we have: Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmission, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. Again, appreciate everybody on the show tonight. For those Race Car Friends members, again, tomorrow is going to be the giveaway for the circuit and the Rocky Mountain Race Week. So make sure you tune in for that. And everybody else, we will see you guys on Saturday morning.
Yep. See you guys.